I always enjoy playing with language. You know, I was an English major, and particularly oxymorons. You know, those little combinations of words that seem to be the opposite, like jumbo shrimp, civil war, old news, military intelligence. Whoa, whoa, bada boom. Yeah, I need a drum roll here. And then I came up with the power of vulnerability. The power. Now, I know that vulnerability, it's a trigger word or a button word for many. It sets off all kinds of vibrations in us. Because for many of us, given our experiences in the world, vulnerability equals being taken advantage of. And who likes that? But as I thought about it, I thought, well, let's just start with the basic approach to vulnerability. What does it really mean? So, being me, that old English major again, I went to a dictionary. Vulnerability, the quality or state of being exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed, either physically or emotionally. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? You know, so why did I choose this topic, you might ask? Why? Good, thank you. Good question, good question. And because truly, because I thought if this vulnerability word was such a buzz and button for me, then I needed to look into it. Because if I react strongly to something, I know there's something there to learn. So today, I hope you join with me as we go about exploring vulnerability. What it is, what it is not, and why it's important in us as a spiritual practice. And I'm going to begin, as always, with a science of mind point of view, because as you all know, science of mind is the branch of New Thought that I'm an ordained minister in, so I tend to go there. And our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote this thing. Every one of us has in back of us the potential of the universe. There is an irresistible potential pressing against everyone for self-expression. If we listen, we shall hear it, not as a voice, but as a feeling, as a divine urge to express, just like our affirmation pointed out. And whether we think in those kinds of flowery words that Ernest wrote or not, I think each of us does feel or has felt a very deep desire to be all that we came here to be, even if we don't even know what it is. Yeah? I mean, if nothing else, I know that we can feel oppression and discomfort when people or the world try to categorize me, put me in a box, and neatly label me, and that's what it is. I don't like that. I mean, even actors say, I don't want to be typecast. I mean, I think we do have a drive towards and a fear of being authentic, who we truly came here to be. And while I know that we can feel resistant to being categorized and placed in a box, but stepping up, speaking out, and not needing anybody's approval, that's something else. Because I think that when we say to someone, look at me, this is who I am, we're placing ourselves upon an altar in which we can be acknowledged and seen and honored or sacrificed. We talk about being burned by experiences, burned by somebody, burned upon that sacrificial altar. I think every one of us has had the experience. I know I have, but here I am, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. I went to Brené Brown, who I really enjoy reading, because she wrote a lot about something like this. And she said, vulnerability is a state of emotional exposure that comes with a certain degree of uncertainty. It involves a person's willingness to accept the emotional risk that comes from being open and willing to love and be loved. Exposure, uncertainty, risk. These are all big words, trigger words. But the key phrase is being open and willing to love and be loved. Because that's why we are here in this lifetime, to love and to be loved, to learn love, to be love, not to hide in a closed room, literally or metaphorically, in order to stay safe. I bet many people here remember the Paul Simon song, I Am a Rock. I had to take this out. Hiding in my room, safe within my womb, I touch no one and no one touches me.
I am a rock, I am an island.
Exactly. Thank you. I couldn't help it when I was writing this. It kept coming through my mind. Okay, I have to use it. And recently I heard someone say in a sermon, okay, we are here to do great things. Sounds pretty good, but who defines what great is? What is a great thing? To me, it sounded very intimidating. And I much prefer Mother Teresa, who said, we can't all do great things, but we could all do small things with great love. Yeah, back to that word love again. Anyone who defines great. Maybe your guardian angel has already checked that box off for you when you helped or rescued an abandoned or a hurt animal. Or even if you just simply stood up and gave your bus seat to an older person carrying heavy bags. I think many of us don't give ourselves credit for the small gestures of kindness that we do that mean a lot more to the person who has received. Love. So this is what we're all about. As we here believe, God is love. This creative impulse, which is nothing but expression, total, complete, unconditional, is why we're here. In fact, God is so totally love, it just can't even help itself, spilling over into expression. And so here you are, and you, and you, and you, and you, and me. I remember a very lovely sentiment from my old Catholic background about love. And it said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. I see some head nodding. But when I found new thought and a greater spiritual wisdom, I rewrote that to reflect what I really believe now. Now, I think, for God so loves the world that it gives itself to the world all the time, every bit of it, forever. Yeah, because we are all sons and daughters and expressions of that love. So we are that in our deepest essence. But as we go about our mundane human lives, driving around and going shopping and stuff, how do we access that love? How do we dive into that flow, that beingness of unconditional loving consciousness? Well, in my humble opinion, after giving it a lot of thought, I think vulnerability is the entrance fee for diving into that ocean of love. Meister Eckhart, my favorite mystic, I quote him all the time, he advised that if we want to feel our oneness with our Creator, we need to remember this. The shell must be cracked open if what is inside is to come out. And if you want the kernel, you must break the shell. We must learn to break through things if we are to grasp God in them. So vulnerability then, for me, becomes the precursor, I can say this, the precursor to both self-expression and connection. Vulnerability is the precursor to both self-expression and connection. If we must break the shell to grasp the divine, as we did in the meditation, you go within. You let everything else go. then we need to allow ourselves to be cracked open so that we can be that namaste, the God in me sees the God in you. It's not easy, and God knows we've all had the social and individual societal influences that create many barriers to doing this. Like many people, I've crashed into those kinds of barriers. Many, many years ago, I risked being vulnerable to someone who, instead of empathizing with me or supporting me, used what I told her to make herself look good and make me look bad. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. Yeah. And I think even after all these years, that pain is one of the reasons I kind of resisted talking about being vulnerable. But as I said, I'm still here. And because over my lifetime of 76 years and counting, more often than not, being willing to show my vulnerable underbelly has created something wonderful, something beautiful between me and another person. And even, and here's a tricky thing that we'll talk about later, between me, myself, and I. Now, when we started, I said we're going to examine what vulnerability is and then what it is not. So let's talk about what it's not. One, it's not about oversharing or dumping inappropriate amounts of personal information on someone with wild abandon. You know that TMI look you get? You're like, when you've either done it or have had it done to you. Vulnerability is not an ego trip. Look at me. I'm being vulnerable and sharing my stuff, and isn't that great? It's not about exposing one's pain so as to gain sympathy or maybe even admiration because I'm being so strong in the midst of such horrible stuff. And finally, it's really not about being a doormat for others to walk on. Now, by the way, as a prayer practitioner and as a minister for the past 30 years, I've seen this behavior. I'm not making this stuff up. We fall into it. So I wanted to be very clear that that is not vulnerability. In short, vulnerability is not to be without boundaries, okay? It seems like another one of those oxymorons, but it works. Vulnerability is a spiritual practice that takes courage. Being vulnerable is not a weakness, but it is instead a conscious choice to express one's thoughts, feelings, and emotions in ways that nurture a life of being truly authentic. Who did I come here to be? I came here to love and be loved. So it is possible to tap into the power of vulnerability. And when we do, the results are pretty remarkable. Okay? And here's the third point I wanted to say about vulnerability and why it's important. The power of vulnerability allows us to build trust and intimacy in relationships. It allows us to foster empathy and understanding of each other. It allows us to attract those who will love and support us. And then it will increase our sense of self-worth. And while I was listing or typing this list of vulnerability gifts and what it allows us to do, when my hand wrote this thing about self-worth, I read back over my pages and I said, what the heck does that mean? What was I talking about? Because sometimes things just flow out, and I don't know where it comes from, and I'm not even sure I understand it. So I went back and said, how the heck does vulnerability increase my sense of self-worth? So remember when I said seeing through the eyes of open vulnerability creates that connection between me, myself, and I back then? Oh, so this is what I came up with. When we choose to contemplate ourselves from a higher consciousness, we can see more clearly who we really are, with all of our warts and our mistakes and our errors. And we can see where we haven't walked our talk, perhaps, or where there is a gap between our innermost self and the public face we put out. But in this place of vulnerable higher consciousness, openness, we acknowledge our shortcomings, and I believe something really wonderful happens. I think we begin to see ourselves with softer eyes. No criticism, no judgment. We see our weaknesses and our strengths. And this more acute self-awareness becomes a greater appreciation for our self-worth, our realness. Yes, I am flawed, and I mean wonderfully so. But I'm also a good person with gifts and skills that I want to offer for good. And as I begin to increase my ability to see myself as enough, even with all of my errors and my faults, I develop a greater ability to see the same thing in other people, right? I begin to look at people, and if they are acting out, instead of saying, "What's wrong with you?" I might be asking myself, "What happened to you?" Empathy, compassion. If I give it to myself, then I can give it to others. And this is my final point about vulnerability, and I hope you do a mental highlight in yellow or underline, because I'm going to read it. Because we are living a human experience in the midst of hard matter, we can only know and be known when we show how life has marked us. Okay? My heart bears scars from past sad and painful experiences. Sure. But my heart is healed. It might need to heal again. But the key is, with every scar my heart bears, the deeper my compassion grows for my fellow travelers, because all of you bear heart scars as well. So, about this thing about scars. You know, they say spiritual practice is falling down, get up, fall down, get up, fall down, get up. I'm proud of the scars on my knees, because as people can see them, they know I got up again. And when Jesus appeared to his disciples after his death, remember, he invited them to look upon his wounds and his scars. He even invited the Apostle Thomas to put his hand in the wound in his side. You know, he didn't try to hide his wounds or his scars. He bared them without shame, and he convinced his disciples that he was really there because of them, the real thing, all it, all of him. The same Yeshua who blasted a fig tree because he was angry because it didn't give him food when he was hungry. The same Yeshua who overturned the money changers' tables in a rage. The same Yeshua who felt crushed by what he knew was coming, and he begged God his Father to take this cup away from me. No excuses, no rationalizations, no BS. Here I am, scars and all. Look at me. I'm here. That's vulnerability. And may I be as brave and unashamed of my scars and who I am with everything. May I be open and vulnerable and willing to risk in order to love. Look at me and let me see you, please. And so it is.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. And I'll only go as fast. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Gentle. I will be gentle with myself. I am gentle. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child.
David has given me the honor of leading the meditation this morning. I'm so glad. And after that beautiful song, as we are all feeling a little slower, I invite you to, if you'd like, close your eyes and settle. Let your shoulders fall away from your neck and relax the skin around your eyes. Become very comfortable in your earth suit we call a body. And in this moment, let's turn within to the vastness of our consciousness in which our divinity dwells and abides. And take a moment to settle in there, in the silence. In this place of tranquility and stillness, feel your breath. And know that it is your life. This one life that is beautiful, eternal, vast. I invite you to feel how much energy there is within you. Breathe into that. And from this place, I invite you to, in your mind's eye, turn around and look at yourself. See the light that permeates you and shines from you. Oh my God, you're beautiful. The sun shines upon us. The winds cool us. And the voice of God sings to us through birds in the swell of the ocean. And the humming of insects. Let this be all there is for you in this moment. You are held. You are embraced. Unconditionally loved. And in this stillness, I invite us to really feel it, to know it. This is the ground of being. This is the truth that sings to us when we can become still. Be still and know. This is a gift you give yourself. This time, this awareness, this peace. And as we return to this room and begin to become present, I invite you to take it with you. Hold it in your heart chakra and let it continue to vibrate. You are perfect. You are complete. You are loved. And as you come back to this sanctuary, this place, and begin to feel the material matter around you, I invite you to simply open your eyes gently and see the face of Christ in each other. And so it is.